Welcome back, listeners. Today we're taking a deep dive into, well, it's a bit of a wild one.
Oh, yeah. Sounds intriguing already.
It's called the Cosmic Watergate theory. Basically, it suggests that, well, think powerful extraterrestrials.
Okay, I'm following. Extraterrestrials.
Right, but not just visiting,
Yeah.
like actively manipulating human civilization.
Whoa, hold on. Like a cosmic puppet show?
Sort of. Like, imagine the Watergate scandal, but on a universe-sized scale. We're talking ancient myths.
Myths.
Yeah, myths and modern UFO sightings, government cover-ups, the whole nine yards.
Okay, now that's a deep dive. Where do we even start with something like that?
Well, let's start with those ancient myths and legends. Like almost every culture has stories about like gods or powerful beings coming down from the sky. Maybe they were just trying to explain, I don't know, encounters with aliens, right?
Hmm. It's an interesting thought. I mean, it does show how long we've been fascinated by the idea of, not being alone in the universe.
Exactly. And the cosmic Watergate theory basically says, like, what if those stories weren't just stories? What if they were, early encounters with, like, real extraterrestrials?
That would change our whole understanding of history, wouldn't it?
Totally. And then you've got, like, all the modern stuff, too. Unexplained aerial phenomena, the UAPs.
Oh, right. Those things that are zipping around doing things our technology can't even dream of.
Exactly. And some people think that's, like, hard proof of advanced alien tech. I mean, what else could it be?
Yeah, I mean, some people say it's just misidentified aircraft or weather phenomena, but some of those sightings are pretty convincing, like that Nimitz incident with the tic-tac-shaped object.
Yeah, that one's hard to explain away. And then you add in all the talk about government cover-ups, leaked documents and stuff.
Like what kind of documents?
Well, there's that MJ-12 document that some people think proves there was, like a secret group handling the Roswell incident.
Right, the whole Crafts UFO thing.
Yeah, exactly. But the document itself, like, is it even real?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Totally. But even if it's fake, like, someone went to a lot of trouble to make it, which is, suspicious.
That's true. It feeds into that whole idea that there's something being hidden from us.
Okay, so we've got ancient myths, weird stuff in the sky, possible government secrets, and, we can't forget figures like Bob Lazar.
Oh, the Area 51 guy.
The one and only. His story is, well, wild to say the least. Claims he worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft.
Didn't he talk about, like, element 115 or something? Something that wasn't even discovered until way after he said it.
Yeah, that's one of the things people point to say he's making it all up. But some of the details he gives are, well, pretty specific.
It's definitely a story that gets people talking.
No kidding. And then there's Dr. Stephen Greer. He's, like, dedicated his whole life to exposing the truth about aliens.
I have heard of him. Doesn't he do those events where people try to, like, meditate to contact aliens?
Yep, that's him. He thinks it's not just about physical evidence, like it's about human consciousness and connecting on a deeper level.
So we've got, like, myths, UFOs, government secrets, people claiming to work with aliens. This is, like, a whole lot to unpack.
It is, right. But it all kind of paints this picture of, like, maybe there's a much bigger story going on, something that could completely change how we see ourselves and our place in the universe. So we're talking about aliens potentially pulling the strings. But we also have to, like, be realistic, right? I mean, not everything weird that happens has to be, aliens.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's really important to think critically about all of this. Like, just because a document is, leaked or something doesn't mean it's automatically true.
Right, exactly. Like that MJ-12 thing, right? Some people are convinced it's like the smoking gun, proof that the government knows all about aliens. But other people say it's totally fake.
Yeah, and it's tough, right? How do you actually prove if something like that is real or not, especially when it's, about something so big?
Right, like if aliens are actually real, that's huge. So how do you know if a document like that is the real deal or just like a really good fake?
Well, you have to kind of look at, like, everything. Where did it come from? Who wrote it? What kind of language does it use? Does it match up with other real documents from the same time period?
It's like detective work almost.
Yeah, kind of. And with that MJ-12 documents, some experts have said that, like, the fonts and the way it's written just don't match up with how things were done back then.
So they think it's probably a fake.
Probably, yeah. But, it's still interesting that someone went through the trouble of making it. It shows how much this whole topic captures people's imaginations.
Totally. And it's not just about documents either, right? Like even with those UAPs, the things flying around doing crazy stuff. Well, some people jump right to aliens. But maybe, I don't know, maybe our science just hasn't caught up yet. Maybe there's a perfectly normal explanation we just haven't figured out.
That's a good point. What seems impossible today might be totally explainable, in a few years.
Right. Like, think about how much technology has changed even in, like, the last 10 years.
It's crazy, right? And I mean, not everyone who believes in UAPs thinks it's aliens either.
Really?
Yeah. There are a lot of scientists and researchers who are just trying to, study these things scientifically. They want to collect data, analyze it, and figure out what's going on without automatically jumping to, aliens.
Makes sense. Okay, but what about those ancient structures? Like the pyramids, the Nazca lines. Some people say, like, there's no way humans could have built those things without, help from someone or
Right.
something else.
The whole ancient aliens idea. Those structures are definitely impressive. I mean, you take the Great Pyramid, it's aligned almost perfectly with true north.
Whoa, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's only off by a tiny fraction of a degree.
That's, like, crazy accurate. I can barely get my shelf straight.
Right, but, that doesn't automatically mean aliens.
Okay, so if it wasn't aliens, how did they do it?
Well, most archaeologists think they used, like, really clever techniques and a deep understanding of astronomy. Like, they could have used the stars to figure out true north.
So they were just, like, really, really smart.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a ton of skilled workers and, generations of knowledge to build on.
I guess that makes sense. It's just those structures are so massive, it's hard to imagine how they did it with, no bulldozers or cranes or anything.
Right. But it's also kind of amazing to think that they could, achieve something like that without all the technology we have today. It shows what humans are capable of.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, so we've talked about the evidence, but let's talk about the why. If there really is some big secret about aliens, why keep it hidden? Why all the secrecy?
That's a good question. And there are a few different ideas out there.
Like what?
Well, one idea is like, imagine the chaos if everyone suddenly knew for sure that aliens were real, especially if those aliens were, more advanced than us.
Yeah, I can see that. People will probably freak out.
Right. So maybe the people in charge, whoever they are, think it's better to like keep a lid on
Or
things.
like protect us from ourselves.
Maybe. Or maybe they think it'll like destabilize society. Imagine what it would do to our governments, religions, everything.
Yeah, it would kind of turn everything upside down. But I don't know, it seems kind of messed up to like make that decision for everyone else.
Right. Like who gets to decide what we can and can't handle.
Exactly. It's like even if they have good intentions, it's still pretty shady.
Yeah, definitely. It all comes back to transparency, right? If there is something going on, we deserve to know.
Okay, so we've talked about like the evidence and the possible reasons for a cover up. But what about us, regular people? What if all of this is true? How does that change how we see ourselves, our place in the universe? So let's just say, for argument's sake, that this cosmic Watergate thing is real. Aliens have been messing with us this whole time. What does that even mean for us? Like, for regular people?
Well, I mean, on a basic level, it changes how we see everything, right? Like all of human history, everything we thought we knew about how we got here, our technology, all of it could be like influenced by these other beings.
Yeah, it's like, what if we're not really in control of our own destiny? Like, what if we've been, like, pawns in some giant cosmic game?
Right. It made me think about like free will. Do we actually
Yeah.
have any? Or is everything we do kind of predetermined by, whoever's pulling the strings?
It's a lot to wrap your head around. And I wonder what it would do to, like, religion and stuff. I mean, if there are these super advanced aliens out there, does that mean, like, God doesn't exist?
I think it depends on your beliefs, right?
Mm.
Some people might see it as proof of a higher power. Others might see it as like totally contradicting their faith.
It's like in that movie Contact, remember? When she finally meets the aliens, they ask her if she believes in God. It's like even for someone who's dedicated her whole life to science, that question still matters.
It's a question we all have to wrestle with in some way, I think. Like, what do we believe in? And how does that fit into this bigger picture of the universe?
It's heavy stuff, but even if this whole cosmic Watergate theory is, like, totally wrong, it makes you think, right?
It definitely does. I mean, that's what's so cool about stuff like this. It forces us to, like, question everything, our assumptions about ourselves, about the universe, everything.
So as we, like, wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want people to take away from all of this?
I think it's just to, stay curious. The universe is a big, mysterious place, and there's so much we don't know.
Mhm.
So keep asking questions, keep searching for answers, and don't be afraid to, like, challenge what you think you know.
Well said. And even if we never get definitive proof about aliens or cosmic cover-ups, exploring these ideas, looking at the evidence, it's all part of trying to understand our place in this crazy universe. So keep looking up, keep wondering, and who knows what we might discover.